India says it has carried out precision strikes on militant sites inside Pakistan and Pakistani-administered Kashmir, claiming to have killed what it calls a number of terrorists. Islamabad says 3 people were killed in the strikes, which it claims hit civilian targets. Pakistan says its response to India's strikes is underway. Tensions are soaring between the two countries over last month's deadly attack on tourists in the Indian part of the disputed territory of Kashmir. DW's Binish Javed is from Pakistan and reports on the region from Berlin. Sandra Petersman heads up our bureau in Delhi. Sandra, starting with you, 2 weeks on since those tourist attacks, which Delhi blamed on Islamabad, it denied the accusations. Now India launches these strikes. Bring us up to date.
Well, the Ministry of Defense put out a press statement at 1:44 local time here, so it was in the cover of night. And basically the statement said a little while ago the Indian Armed Forces launched Operation Sindoor. I'm citing now, hitting terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and deep inside Pakistan as well. Altogether, the statement claims 9 sites were hit. According to the Indian Defense Ministry, all terrorist infrastructure. But of course, that needs to be verified. It's still very early stages, so we also must be very, very careful in what we put out at this stage as the story is developing and news is still emerging. We have learned through sources that India's Navy, Army and Air Force were involved in this military action. It's the first time, according to Indian media here, that a strike like this, a tri-service strike, has been carried out. And they have coined it here the largest non-war strike against Pakistan in Indian history. And media here are emphasizing that missiles were apparently used by all 3 forces of the Indian Army. And the defense minister here, Rajnath Singh, has put out on X, formerly known as Twitter, just a few words in Hindi, which translate to "Long live India." And if we look back at the messaging of the Indian government right after the ghastly attack on April 22nd, the messaging was clear throughout that there would be a revenge. And what we see now is the kind of revenge that India's government has promised to the public here.
Binish, what are we hearing from Pakistani officials?
Ben, as Sandra has said, it's a rapidly evolving situation. We have been getting statements from Pakistani officials. The latest that we have is that Pakistani military has said that India has fired missiles across the border in Pakistan in 5 locations, 5 sites. Mr. Ahmad Sharif, in an interview, he's the spokesperson of Pakistani military, and just a few minutes ago he gave an interview to BBC and he said that 3 sites were attacked across line of control in Pakistan's administered Kashmir, and 2 sites have been, India has attacked 2 sites in Pakistan's Punjab province, two sites in Muridke and Bahawalpur. And what he claims the Pakistani military is saying is most of these sites were mosques or civilian targets. Pakistani Defense Minister Mr. Khwaja Asif has spoken to news agency AFP, in which he has told this agency that at least 3 civilians, including a child, have been killed. But Ben, we have to, as Sandra has said, we have to be very, very careful. These statements are coming from Pakistani officials and we cannot independently verify these statements. Pakistan has also called Indian attack an unprovoked attack, an attack on Pakistan's sovereignty. We know that India had linked the Pahalgam attack on 22nd in Indian-administered Kashmir to Pakistan. Pakistan had denied that allegation.
So, Binish, what about the response from Pakistan?
So, what we are hearing is that a retaliatory response from Pakistan is ongoing. Pakistani Prime Minister has said that a robust response is being given to India. I'm quoting him. He has also called Indian attack, I'm quoting him, cowardly attack. And he has also said that Pakistan has every right to give robust response to act of war from India. But we know that after April 22nd Pahalgam attack, when India linked the attack to Pakistan, there were these fears that India may carry out some strikes or some sort of military action in Pakistan. What we are hearing is that this seems to be we were not expecting, or officials in Pakistan were not expecting, or analysts were not expecting that this would be, this is considered a big attack from the Indian side, and Pakistan has vowed to respond, and Pakistani Prime Minister has said that this attack, as of now, is ongoing.
Sandra, how does the Indian government justify the strikes?
Well, they have been linking the attack in Pahalgam right from the start to cross-border terrorism in Pakistan. They have been accusing Pakistan over decades of sponsoring, of facilitating cross-border terrorism, of harboring terrorists on its soil that would then conduct strikes against India on Indian soil. And right from the start, I may go back to the messaging, it has been directed at Pakistan. That military action was on the table right from the start, has been communicated very clear. And if I may go back here to the statement put out by the Indian Ministry of Defense, the Indian side, of course, is claiming, adding to what Binish has said from the Pakistani side, I am quoting here now, our actions have been focused, measured and non-escalatory in nature. No Pakistani military facilities have been targeted. India has demonstrated considerable restraint in selection of targets and method of execution. Of course, the story is still emerging. It's still very early on. What was hit, what wasn't hit, if there are any civilian casualties, all of this will only emerge later at this stage. As Binish rightfully said, there are a lot of claims out there, especially on social media, claims that are hard, especially during the night now, to independently verify.
Sandra, do Indians want war with Pakistan?
I mean, there was a lot of rage, palpable rage in the population here. We actually went out yesterday to speak to young people in the street, just random, ordinary people going about their life, not experts or analysts. And all these young people were really saying this needs a befitting answer. The country should strike back. They were expecting from the Indian government to strike back. Quite a few of them said that obviously civilians should be spared. It was emphasized in the about 10 people that we spoke to longer that civilians should be spared. But all of them really across the board said that a response is needed so that people in Pakistan, and I'm quoting again here, would never dare anything like this again, as we have seen in the Pahalgam attack that killed 26 civilians. And if I may go more into detail there, most of them were shot at gunpoint. 25 of the 26 victims were male Hindus.
Binish, where do you think it's going to go from here?
Ben, it's a very, very contentious, serious escalation right now. And as Sandra has pointed out, the reaction in India, I would say that in Pakistan, of course, when Pakistani government said that, you know, we will respond to any Indian attack, there was a lot of unity in Pakistan, and a lot of people in Pakistan are backing the Pakistani military and the Pakistani government. But I would say that Pakistanis, if you ask many Pakistanis, they would say that war is the last thing they want. Pakistan is still recovering from a very severe economic crisis. Young people are worried about their future. Pakistan is a water-scarce country. There are huge problems that Pakistan is facing. And in a country like Pakistan, where there's a lot of poverty, so many domestic problems of terrorism emanating that Pakistan says emanates from its western border in Afghanistan. There is an active insurgency in Balochistan. With all of these challenges, this is another front that has been opened for Pakistan, which is not a very good news for many Pakistanis.
And briefly, Sandra, UN Chief Antonio Guterres has called for maximum restraint, saying the world cannot afford military confrontation between India and Pakistan. Will leaders heed his warnings?
I think as of now, we have to look at these limited strikes. Very much will depend now on how Pakistan responds. We are awaiting here further information. We will be awaiting a press briefing, which is unfortunately many hours from now to learn more details. But let's not forget that yesterday, India's government called for nationwide mock drills, civil defense mock drills to basically test preparedness here in India. Those will happen today, and of course these mock drills are maybe more than mock drills now and have to be seen in a different light now.
Many thanks to the both of you, Zandra Petersman in Delhi and Binesh Javed here in Berlin.